Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for another video, and today I've got an exciting one for you. I'm going to do a video all about superimpose. Specifically, I'm going to do a video called Superimpose Exposed. Now, what this video is all about is me explaining to you the basics of how this trick works. Now, Superimpose came out a couple of weeks ago through Penguin Magic. I filmed the tutorial and live performances probably a year and a half to 2 years ago now, and it's took up until this point to get out. And I wanted to basically show you guys what you're getting if you pick it up. Now, the question I know some of you are going to be asking if you've not seen many videos on this channel is, why the hell is a magic creator doing this? And the reason is very simple. I've been doing this with pretty much all of my most recent releases, haven't I, Michael? I can't remember one that we haven't done now.
Quite a while now.
For quite a while, probably coming up to about a year. Every time I have a trick come out, I do a video like this exposing how the trick works. Now, the reason that's never really been done in magic before is because people are worried that if somebody sees the secret and understands how it works, they're not going to buy it. And you know what? That's a concern. I'm sure there's going to be people watching this that might have bought Superimpose, but now they know how it works, they're not going to. But I'd like to believe that there's more people that are more likely to pick up something like this once they understand exactly how it works. I believe that anybody who buys one of my products should come into it with their eyes wide open. And I think one of the big problems with the industry is because we deal with the subject of secrets. You know, when new tricks come out, a lot of the time it's very, very secretive. And it's been like that since I got into magic, you know. The amount of times I've bought something, think it would be perfect for my act, and when I've got it, it's just completely useless and I've thrown it away or put it in my bottom drawer. As a reviewer, I see that happening all of the time. So I want you guys to know exactly what this trick is, and I want you to know exactly what it does. One thing I'll tell you is I am so proud of this. I honestly think out of every card trick that I have ever created, including my work on gaff decks, including the stuff that I put on Magic Button, everything that I've ever created, this is my favorite trick. I am doing this in every single gig, and the reason is it can be done walk around, it can be done on big tables, on small tables, in small groups. You don't need a table. The angles are absolutely perfect. It probably takes about 15 seconds to reset, maybe 20. When you first start, it'll take you about 30 seconds, but when you've been doing it as long as me, it'll take you about 15 seconds. You're ready to go and do it again. And although it's a gaff deck, as you're going to see in a second, only part of the deck is actually gaffed. You can actually do a lot of other routines with this deck before you go into this routine, because probably 90% of the deck is perfectly normal. So you can structure this to be able to do a bunch of different stuff. Now, when this first came out, I went on the Magic Cafe and somebody made a post about this, as they normally do. And there were a couple of people on the Magic Cafe that were negative about the trailer and negative about a wording that I used in the trailer. I used the word check, and they didn't like that. And unfortunately, that's the sort of thing that you get at the Magic Cafe. I thought it was a little bit ironic that people were actually, or these people were saying to me, oh, you're trying to deceive people, when I'm the one that's been making videos every single time I bring a product out explaining exactly how the trick works. But whatever. I love this trick. I love performing this trick. It gets insane reactions. So I'm going to do a no warts, no edits, just a live performance to Jack. Jack has never seen this trick before. And then once I've shown it to Jack, I'm going to very briefly kind of show you guys how it works. Are you ready to see a really cool card trick?
You'd like to know?
Cool. So say it with me, Jack. We've got 52 cards.
52 possibilities.
Absolutely. Now, before we start, I have to take 4 cards out of the deck. Okay. And the 4 cards I'm going to take out are going to be the 4 aces. So we've got the Ace of Hearts, we've got the Ace of Diamonds, we have the Ace of Clubs, and finally we have the Ace of Spades, which is right there. There we go, 4 aces. Thought I'd lost it there now. Now, the important thing is, before we begin, you can see the 4 aces there.
Yep.
I'm going to have these put down right there on the table. And anytime you want to check that these really are the 4 aces, you can. I don't want you to think, Jack, that I'm cheating, okay? So I'm going to give you an extreme close-up of this. There you go. Whoa, there they are, the 4 aces.
You're trying to blind me.
Yes. I'm going to put them right there. Now, you have a choice. You can either put your finger on there, or I can put the card box on there. It's totally up to you.
The box.
The box. You want the box there?
Yeah.
Okay, just in case you think I've done some sort of weird move, I want you to see there's the aces going right there into the box. And anytime you want to check, you can check, okay?
Okay.
Good stuff. Now, we're also going to need 3 cards picked from this deck. And it's not a card trick in a traditional sense in that you're going to pick a card and I'm going to find it. It's way more impressive than that. So, because I'm not going to find them, the aces are. So I'm allowed to look at the cards because I'm not going to find the cards. The aces aren't allowed to look at the cards, that's why they're under the box. But we're going to get 3 cards selected. First of all, say stop.
Stop.
Now it's really important that you understand that you get a free. Are you happy there? You're happy with this card? I'm allowed to see it. It's the 4 of clubs. Now we've got Mike here behind the camera, so Michael, just say stop.
Stop.
You sure you want to stop right there?
Yeah.
You positive?
Yeah.
Okay. 6 of spades, and then finally, again, my friend, just say stop.
Stop.
Cool. And are you happy right there?
Oh, will it be an 8? I'll give you 2s then.
7. Sorry.
Ah.
Them as the breaks. So 3 cards have been picked.
Yep.
Now, there's another rule in Magic, which you never tell the audience what you're going to do, right? You never tell the audience what the trick's going to be. I'm telling you right now, these 3 cards are going to vanish from the deck.
Right.
So we start off by putting the cards into 3 different parts. One goes near the top, one goes in about the middle, and this one here goes around about the bottom. You can see 3 cards in 3 different parts of the deck, right? Now you can push them in yourself, just like that. And I'm just going to put the deck down there. Now I promise you I'm not going to use any sleight of hand here. Those 3 cards are really going to go. The first one looks like this. Oh, no it doesn't. That's me knocking over the cards. Let's try this again. The first one goes like this. That's the first one. The second one goes like this. Look, I'm Jeff McBride. Do all my own choreography.
Very impressive.
That's the second one. And the final one, all I have to do is snap my fingers. Now you remember the cards. 7 of diamonds.
4 of clubs, 6 of spades.
6 of spades, right? But here's the thing. If I really did make those cards go, then those cards really would be gone. You can check. You see it?
Might have gone.
Look at that. You see them?
No.
7
No.
of diamonds, 4 of spades, or whatever. 4 of
4
clubs.
of clubs, 6 of spades.
6 of spades. Those cards have gone. That's
They have
no
gone.
ambiguity. You can check. They really are gone, right?
They are gone.
But they have to go somewhere.
Oh god, they're not under there.
I told you you could check those cards anytime you wanted to. You chose to put the box on top of them, and these cards have been here from the very beginning. But now they've collected 3 other cards. See, the packet feels a bit heavier.
They can't.
And the reason is now, in between the aces, we have the 7 of diamonds, we have the 6 of spades, and we have the 4 of clubs.
What the actual fuck?
Isn't that great? Now there is one. Now there is one other rule in Magic.
Never repeat a trick.
Never repeat a trick, and I'm going to do it again for you, Jack. Now I shouldn't really do it again because if I do it again, you're going to be watching more carefully. But I tell you, I'm going to do it again. Look, actually, before I do, there's the aces, right?
Yep.
Again, do you want to put your finger on them or do you want to put the box on them?
I want to think this time.
Okay. Anytime you want to check, just let me know and we can check. In fact, anytime you want to check, just do that to make sure there's 4 cards. You do it. Yeah, you happy?
Double cards.
Right. So, this time I'm going to make it a little bit harder. We're going to put the cards face up into a face down deck.
Right.
So when you see them vanish, you'll see immediately that they've gone. So the 4 goes there, the 6 goes there, and the 7 goes there. You can push them in yourself. Nice. And I want you to watch. And don't blink. Because this time all I have to do is snap my fingers. That's all I have to do. And when I snap my fingers,
They're gone.
they've gone. You can check. They really have gone. You can see that, right?
Where the hell are they
There's
gone?
no ambiguity here, right? They really have gone.
They are gone.
Now the question is, where did they go? Because they're no longer in the deck. They have to have gone somewhere, right?
They're not back under here, surely.
Well, look, the other rule of Magic is if you're going to repeat it, you have to make it a little bit more impressive.
Yeah.
So this time, instead of the aces collecting the cards, the aces superimpose themselves onto the cards. And what I mean by that, Jack, is now the first selection is superimposed right there onto the ace of clubs. The second selection is superimposed right there onto the ace of diamonds. And the final selection is superimposed right there on the ace of hearts. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can examine those, my friend.
What the fuck? How did all the merged? Right, look at that.
Do you think she just looked at them as well?
Oh no. What the? Ah, he's probably one of the best card tricks I've ever seen.
Oh, cheers, man. Thank you.
I thought gonna have that happen.
That means a lot from you, genuinely, because you've seen so many card tricks now. I think you're getting numb to them.
Yes. I'm also lead editor on the net tricks, I just want to add. So I'll say a lot.
This is a lot of magic.
That's really good.
Thank you, buddy.
That's just come out.
Just come out.
Oh.
Just come out through Penguin. Okay, so Michael's behind the camera. Jack's now gone away. And when the cameras went off, he might have said it on camera, I don't know, but I can't remember actually, Michael. We filmed so much today. But he said that this is one of the best tricks he's ever seen, one of the best card tricks he's ever seen.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of card tricks.
A lot.
A lot of card tricks. He does all the editing for the net tricks, so he sees hundreds of card tricks. You know, this is obviously, for anybody who is interested, this is based on the collector's plot. And I've always had two problems with collectors. The first problem is there's always that moment when you're doing collectors, right, where you take the aces out, for example, and you have to do a move because you're not really going to be using all the aces, and you put them to one side. Then you have to have a very cozy kind of control of the aces because they have to go in specific places. And then you have to have that moment where the ace packet goes back to the deck because you have to then load whatever it is that you've done over here over to here. And that's always the wrong time that happens. And this originally started off with me wanting to do a collector's routine where they were put down to one side and left to one side right from the very beginning. You never touch them and the cards appeared there. That was the first thing that I wanted to do. The second thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to have a second phase that was logical, that built off the first phase. And it took me a long time to get to that point because there were a lot of ways that I could think of actually going into a second phase, but it wasn't really necessarily an extension of the first phase. It wasn't as impressive as the first phase, or it was as impressive, but it wasn't better than. And that's basically where we came up with, and that's where Superimpose is right now. So let me explain how it works. So you get the deck of cards, obviously, you get everything that you need. You get the tutorial. I will tell you, other than a riffle force or some sort of force, this is pretty much self-working. And if you don't want to do any sleights, you can do a cross-cut force. I talk about that in the tutorial. I'm not going to go too much in depth with this because that's not what this video is about. But in essence, what you get is you get a deck of cards and you're going to have 3 force cards. The 7 of diamonds, 4 of clubs, 6 of spades. Now, these cards are specially treated so that they will stick to other cards. Now, these are not roughed. That's important to know that. There's not roughing fluid on these cards. These cards are specially treated so that, because normally with the rough deck, if you know the quantum deck or the invisible deck or the mirage deck, you have to have 2 cards that are roughed. When those 2 cards come in contact with each other, they will stick together. The substance that's used on these cards, they can stick to any card and they will create a stuck together pair. And it holds stronger and better than roughing fluid, but separates easier as well. So if you wanted to have a deck of cards where 3 cards vanish, you'd have to have the entire deck rough, but that's not the case with this. So you've got 3 cards that are prepared. Those are your 3 force cards. You've also got the Superimpose cards, which are these, which are basically the 3 aces, and you've got these superimposed selections on the 3 aces. It took ages for Penguin to get the right look, and I know it looked very simple, but this just strikes immediately the audience. They look at this and they're like, what? They immediately can tell that something weird's gone on. So you get those. And the other thing that you get, obviously you need an ace of spades. And the other thing you get are these. This is 3 more of these force cards. But these are double facers. Oh, he cheated. With aces on the other side. And again, these are specially prepared here in order to stick to something. So the setup, very, very quickly, is you're going to take your 3 double facers and stick each one to the corresponding ace. So this is an ace of clubs, so that goes next to the ace of clubs. This is an ace of hearts, so this goes next to the ace of hearts, and this is an ace of diamonds. This goes next to the ace of diamonds. Now, because those double facers are specially prepared, like, how good does that look, Michael? You just can't tell. It's just 3 cards.
Not at all.
You just can't see it at all. And the nice thing is, the superimposed cards aren't prepared at all. So at the end, everything's examinable, which is cool. So they go into 3 different parts of the deck. I like to put them here, here, and here. And I put the ace of spades in there as well. The ace of spades is normal. And then those 3 cards go on top. They're the prepared force cards. So when you want to do the routine, you can spread them face down because you're not going to see any double faces because the cards are sticking together. You can spread them in between your hands if you haven't got a table. And you take out the 4 aces. So you take out the 4 aces. And what's beautiful about this is each one of these aces is a pair, but you just can't tell. You just cannot tell. And then the final one you take out here like this and you strip them all out. You hand this deck to somebody if you haven't got a table. Like I say, this is designed for a walk around performance. You hand the deck out to somebody. And what's really cool now is you can show these cards very cleanly and you can show that there's just 4 aces. You can even give them to the spectator. The spectator can even, if you put them on the table, spread the cards out. It really looks just like 4 aces. Now the ace of spades is on the bottom. That's important. And now if I've got a table, I'll put them on the table and I'll either get them to put their hand on them or a finger on them or the box on them. If they're doing it in walk around, I can get them to hold it in between their hand. I can get them to put them in my pocket, or I can get them to put them in the box and I can get them to hold onto the box, whichever you prefer, makes no difference. But these are, and the nice thing is if they want to check at any point, they can check them. Oh, I shouldn't say the word check, should I? By check, I mean is they can spread them out like this, or you can pick them up and show them. I don't want to get in trouble. So now you're going to force these 3 cards. Now you could, if you wanted to, just do a cross-cut force, or you could do a cut deeper force. I go through lots of different options on the tutorial, but I typically do a riffle force. And you can either have all 3 cards come out from the same place, or you can have 3 forces done. It's up to you. But you're basically going to force those 3 cards. Now, here's the cool thing. When you're doing a collector style routine, there's 2 elements, the vanish and the reappearance. Now, the reappearance has already been sorted because of these cards. So the vanish is super easy because you can take these cards and put them in 3 different parts of the deck. And because they're specially prepared on the face, they can push them in. And in the action of putting them down on the table or giving them to a spectator to hold, they can, when you spread through, those 3 cards will look like they've gone. That's the cleanest vanish in the world, by the way, because they can, this is the bit I got in trouble for, they can check, and they can run their finger along. In fact, if you're doing this walk around, you can give them the deck and you can tell them to spread through the deck and they will not see anything. They can check, completely check, because they can see that there's nothing there. You can spread them out on the table, you can do this, you can do whatever you want to do. It's the cleanest vanish in the world with no sleight of hand. But now when you come back over here, all you have to do, now this special prepared aces, even though they're specially prepared, they separate really easily. And I talk about how to do it on the tutorial. But you can then deal, and immediately you see the 3 selections, and you can flash that last ace. You see the 3 selections. I mean, isn't that cool? That's like the cleanest way of doing this in the world, right? Now, the nice thing is this is now set you up for the second phase. So you immediately use the ace of spades to scoop up these cards and you get them to put them back in the hand again. Now, the nice thing about this is there are genuinely just 4 cards here. Now, you can't show the faces of these cards, but you can show the face of the ace of spades. And you're going to do the same vanish, but the vanish has to be more impressive than the first phase. So the way that we make the vanish more impressive than the first phase is by putting the cards face up into the face down deck. So you put them face up into the, now bearing in mind these are the double faces obviously, but you don't show the other side. But you put these face up into the face down deck and you get them to push them in. Now when they've pushed those cards in, all you have to do is snap or whatever you want to do, and you can spread the cards face down. Now this is the bit that I got in trouble with, because I said at this point you can check. And the guy on the cafe, or the mob, do we call them a mob? I don't know, the people on the cafe, their point of view is you can't get them to pick them up and spread them out face up because they're going to see aces and their aces should be over there. Now, I talk on the project several different ways to actually cover that, but this is not such a non-moment. They've already seen the vanish. They've seen those cards go face up into a face down deck. They can see that they're not there. They can actually see that they're not there. Do you know what I mean? This is what I mean by checking. They can check. Now, you can give them the cards and they can spread them face down and they won't see anything, a little bit like before. So you can say, look, the 3 cards have gone. We put them face up into the face down deck, didn't we? Yeah, spread them out yourself. Spread them out and they'll do that. Now, if you notice in the performance, I take the cards back and I immediately focus attention over here. And I turn the deck face up and I say, now, you know, you're probably wondering where the cards are gone. And I just spread the cards out like this. So that now they're looking for face down cards in a face up deck. They're not going to see any. They're also looking for selections. They're not looking for aces. So you see a spread quickly like this. You don't, like Michael, you know what you're looking for. Do you see the aces here?
No, I didn't see an ace then.
No, you just don't see. You spread it out really quickly. You just don't see the aces. This is a complete non-issue, and this is not a tutorial, so go check out the tutorial for more. But this is the thing, and then what you do is you focus attention over here. Not at the time. I'll just put the cards away in the case at this point. The attention's over here. And now this is this beautiful moment that they've been holding onto these cards, and it looks like it's not worked. And then I bring the cards up here like this, which is great from a performance point of view because it's up here on your face. And I say they're superimposed. And now I just show the faces of each one of these and I hand them out to the 3 people that selected the cards and I let them look at them. And here's the thing, it's a little bit like a jumbo coin. Insofar that if you do coin magic and you make a jumbo coin appear, they don't care about anything else. All they want to do is look at the jumbo coin. That's the thing that's amazing. That's the impossible object. It doesn't matter what coin trick you've done. You could have invoked Roth's name and been possessed by him and done the most flawless coin magic performance. Nobody cares. When that jumbo coin appears, that's what people want to look at. It's the same with this. This is an impossible object. People have never seen playing cards like this before. They were under their hand the entire time. They were convinced that these were the aces. They saw them several times. So now these cards, this is where everyone's attention is. That's all anyone wants to care about. And these are the cards that can be completely and totally looked at and completely and totally examined. There's nothing to see. Notice that's examined, that's checked. So you can examine this until the cows come home. And then you just put these away and you go into something else and so on and so forth. And the reset's really simple. All you have to do is just, as you go through, you're just going to separate out the cards that you need. So all of the cards, which are I go through this in the tutorial, I don't need to do it now. But the cards that you need, it's very easy, and I'm doing this slowly so you can see what you're doing, but the cards that you need, you just take those out like that, and you are done. So those are on the face, and then all you need to do is you just need to make sure that the selections, which are here, go to the top. So you want to put them to the top of the deck, okay, just like that. They go to the top of the deck, and then just like you did before, you want to marry these up. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. They're married up, and now you're done. It's reset. You just have to put those aces back into 4 different parts of the deck. Oh, don't take that one. That's not one you want to take. Put that there. Put that rogue ace thing there, and you reset. That's the reset. It's about 15 seconds when you do it at full speed. You put it away, and you'll reset, ready to go again. You can put it away in your little box when you put it away in your close-up case, and your job to do. So that is superimposed. Now, the tutorial for this on Penguin is uncharacteristically short by my standards, because I only teach a couple of routines. I teach this routine, which as you've just seen is self-working, and I teach you another routine with the same cards that allows you to do a cards across, a really cool cards across. So it's a totally different feel, if that makes sense, but it uses selected cards, so it's very cool. Now, and it doesn't use the superimposed cards. So after filming this with Penguin, I realised that the superimposed cards that you get with this are very, very cool, and you can do a whole bunch of other stuff with them. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a video. If you saw the video I did recently on 5 new routines with mind blocks, I'm going to be doing another video on other routines that you can do with the superimposed cards. So you don't need the specially treated cards. You can just take the superimposed cards, put them into another deck, and there's some really freaking cool stuff you can do with those cards. So look out for that video coming in a couple of weeks. But to everybody that's picked up superimposed, and I know it's been very popular, I want to say thank you very much to everyone that's picked it up. And if you haven't picked it up, I'm amazed the price that Penguin put this at. It's $25, I think.
That's cheap.
Yeah, for the whole thing, including all the gimmick cards, the specially printed cards, the deck, the tutorial, all the routines, it's like 25 bucks. So, you know, it's a lot cheaper than stuff that's coming out at the moment, but I am so proud of this. It's completely self-working, and yet you can do it anytime, anywhere, and it always gets a great reaction. So I want to shoot this over to you now. I want to read in the comments down below, and I will answer everybody's question in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Superimposed. Have you got it? Do you like it? What do you think of it? If you haven't got it, how come? Is there a particular reason? I'd love to know. And what do you think of the video? Let me know down below. And if you have got it, tell me have you performed it yet? Tell me what the performance was like. Tell me what the reactions are like. Honestly, as a creator, the most exciting thing for me is hearing how the routines that I created done to people I'm never going to meet. I love the fact that there's somebody out there that's bought one of my products, that is performing it to people that I've never met in another country, and you're blowing their mind because of something that I dreamed up in my living room. And that means the world to me. So let me know in the comments if you've done this and what your reactions are like. And yeah, I'm going to be back with another video very, very soon. But thank you so much for joining me. My name's Craig. Go by Superimposed. This is Magic TV.